Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hoop Love Y'all show. I am your host, Shay Rippinger of Hip the Hoopla. And this is the last of the six-part series, Love and Loss series. And this episode is on peace. That is the theme of this episode. So, and I'm going to show you how to do this cool little hoop twisty move in a little bit. Okay, so I have a lot to get through and I want to do it in a real nice time frame here. Okay, so if you've tuned in, if you haven't tuned in with this series, there is 6 parts to this about going from the love and loss, from grief to peace. So my steps were grief, loss, mourn, reflect, healing, and now we are on the peace step. So it's moving through all those stages of what I consider helpful for going through, rough times and getting through that. And if the backstory of this, of where this came from, just last week I had lost my cat of 19 and a half years. And also this year I lost my grandparents, both my grandmother and my grandfather, my remaining grandparents, 97 years old. Yes, 97 years old. It's just mind-boggling to know that, and married for 73 years. So yes, the loss of my cat brought up the loss of a lot of other beings, so just trying to get through that process. And so I thought, although this isn't necessarily the most happy and lively thing, I am trying to make this into a series that helps with getting the emotional balance rebalanced. So going from that depression state back to a state of normalcy or a new normal. So sometimes when you go through a deep loss, you don't get to go back to normal, or you go through a deep trauma of whatever kind, or some kind of life-changing something that just affects you and just kind of rolls you over like a steamroller. And sometimes you don't get to go back to whatever your previous life was. It could be a medical thing. It could be there's so many major things that each one of us encounters in our lives. So anyway, this is to help just get through the process, give you some health. And in the show, I go over health, humor, and hooping. So, and I do a little bit of laughter yoga with the humor. And hopefully my approach is with a little bit more humor at the beginning of this series. Maybe not as humorous as I normally am, but as we move through some things and work some stuff out, then get back to that line of thinking. So, all right. So I have some quick recommendations of how to get to that peace stage. So if we've gone through the actually feeling out, and one of the reasons why I said, going through this process is very helpful is because when me and my mom had gone through the process of losing my grandfather, her father, we didn't really take the time to go through this process, and the emotions and the other things that we needed to go through got expressed in they poke through our lives in like weird holes other ways. So when I lost my mom, I went through the whole process of grieving, crying, mourning the loss, reflecting on all the good things, and going through it and really deeply feeling it. And as a result, when I came through that, and I mean, I still have times where I miss her deeply and things affect me and I still may cry over things that I remember and stuff like that. But I feel such a calm, peaceful place now. And I remember there was one point after that, I never thought I'd stop crying after my mom passed. She was my best friend. But there's a point that I just thought, wow, it's really peaceful here. And I joke around about that because one of the reasons it was very peaceful is because I didn't have anybody to fight with. So, moms can tend to, push our buttons and just the right way, very quick way to do that. But anyway, by moving through everything and experiencing the things, also you're avoiding doing the non-healthy things going through the process. So when you go through loss, trauma, a big major life occurrence, sometimes we hit food as a crutch, and we gain a lot of weight, or alcohol, or drugs, or emotional, things. It could be shopping. There could be all kinds of things, other outlets that you grasp onto instead of going through and feeling the feelings. So going through this process and going through it in a healthier way is very helpful and beneficial. Okay, so on that note, one of the things that I would like to recommend is to get back to laughter in the ways that you can as quick as possible. So get back to smiling again, laughing again, enjoying life again. And those can come in little itty bitty tiny increments. For me, when I lost my mom, I couldn't watch any dramatic movies. I couldn't watch anything where anybody died. I pretty much just did comedies. It could be stand-up comedies. It could be, whatever made me smile. It could be babies laughing on YouTube or cute kitten videos, whatever the case may be. I did romantic comedies, whatever. And of course, those, some of them have elements of drama in them as well. But I just needed to fill the spaces, my entertainment spaces, with happy things. And then eventually I got back to being able to, see drama and see other things that, actually happen in life. But laughing is a very important thing. And getting back to that, it's, and it's not just about getting back to finding your smile again, but it's also about changing the endorphins in your body. That stress level of, the depression and the stress of loss and all of those things are significant. And so those are things that when you can do something to counterbalance that, and take those cortisol levels and drop those down and bring those endorphin levels and bring those up, that's very helpful. And laughter is one of the quickest ways to get there. So, and I will be doing a laughter yoga exercise in just a moment. I'm kind of dressed in game day colors here for the Broncos, for the Denver Broncos, but in that laughter yoga exercise is going to kind of go with that. Or if you're an international fan of soccer, you might enjoy this as well. Okay, so laughter is my first recommendation. Kava is it's also called Kava, and it's a Polynesian, South Pacific herbal remedy. It's very helpful with sleep. So some people do it in a tea, some people do it in a tincture, which is a liquid format, or a pill format. So it's a natural remedy, very nice for helping with sleep. So I find, and this is just me personally, we used to have a health food store, and so that's where I first encountered Kava, and or just Kava, as many people call it. And I found that even with very little sleep, I got better restful sleep. So the health food store was how I first encountered it, and I put it into my repertoire, and that's been one of my go-tos for a very, very long time. So, and then it also comes in a tea format as well. So it might be in a tea blend, or you can get the leaves just like that, or you can even go to a Kava bar. Those are popping up in more and more places as well. And it has a kind of a slight like numbing effect in your mouth, which is kind of a neat thing if you're doing the tea. So, and other, some people have other effects from it as well, but I personally like it because it helps me sleep. So it's nice for those times when I'm under stress and I need to get restful rest, and I need to go into that REM state to help repair the body. That's when your body is resting and getting that sleep, it's rejuvenating itself. The cells get to take care of everything. Your brain gets washed, the toxins release, and all kinds of good things happen when you get better rest. And it also, better rest helps with weight loss too. So in case that is a goal, if you've been, doing a lot of comfort food during your time of trauma when you're going through loss, this is a good way to help, cleanse that out and get that back on the other path. Okay, so that's number 2. So laughter, Kava. And then number 3 is a person that I want to recommend is Pema Chodron. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She is a Buddhist nun, and I came across her teachings. She has a book that is called, let's see here, what is it called? When Things Fall Apart, hard advice for difficult times. And she did a really wonderful graduation speech. I believe it was a graduation speech. It could possibly be a TED Talk. But I had heard her quite a while back, a graduation speech on loss. She had gone through a lot in her life before she became a Buddhist nun, like a regular, normal life of, being married, going through a really rough, painful divorce and things like that. So she has some really interesting, very straightforward, but very comforting words of encouragement and advice that are just really easy and accessible to hear. So I highly recommend Pema Chodron. So that's number 3. Number 4 is just it's a quote of some sort. It might be a Hallmark card or a meme, I'm not sure, but endings are also beginnings. That's the quote. So endings are also beginnings. So, you may know this as when one door closes, another opens, but I'm talking about even a deeper level of the things that can happen as a result of some kind of big boom, and it could be, the big boom could be something that's just, it's a trauma, it's a crisis, it's something massive that happens in your life that really rocks your world to its core. So and that is I had one on the last episode, which was the no rain, no rainbows, and I love that one too. Is that sometimes we have to go through these things to find the rainbow, but this one, the beginnings. There was a really good story that I just came across that was a man on the East Coast in the U.S. who started a soup kitchen that in a bus and went around and just fed soup to homeless people. And how he came about that, he would have never done this had his son not passed away from a drug overdose. And so because he wanted to honor his son and do something positive, he started this bus. And as a result, it has morphed into this. It doesn't just dispense soup. It dispenses, they dispense clothes, shoes. They have a shower on board so that homeless people have a place to go take a shower. And then they're branching out with not just this bus in this one city, but buses in other cities that help out in the same way and help the homeless and help get people back on their feet or just help them be seen. And when they're going through their down times, and it gets just a little smile, a little help, a little clothing, a cup of warm soup. So again, this gentleman would have not started this bus program to help the homeless had he not lost his son through the drug overdose. And so through this extreme tragedy that he experienced, something really wonderful for others came about. So endings are also beginnings. Okay, my 5th one is a little musical mood boost, and this came through from a funny place. It was from a Windex commercial, but I love this song, and I Shazammed it and found it and then watched the video, and it's called Light is Life. And it's this really up-tempo. It's kind of a song that, and I'm going to put the link to it in the show notes here. It's a song that's reminiscent to me of a New Orleans funeral. So if you're familiar, I don't know if you're familiar with a New Orleans funeral, but it's a celebration of life. People wear bright colors and it's a party, and they go through the streets, and the band, they've got music instruments with them, and it's a they carry colorful umbrellas, and it's a party. It's a walking party. So instead of being mournful and sorrowful of the death, not to say that they're not, but just that they're celebrating the life, and that party type atmosphere is a really neat thing. So that this Light is Life song is by Opus. It's a band. I hadn't heard of this band before, but yeah, I found it through a Windex commercial. So, yay Windex, but I don't use Windex because for all kinds of reasons, it's full of chemicals and stuff like that. But the principle of the song, I really like. It's up-tempo. It's kind of a happy song. So if you put it on, dance a little bit, that will be really fun. So on that note, we're going to do a laughter. Going to go with the humor since I covered the health topics. We're going with a little bit of humor with the laughter yoga exercise. So I encourage you to do this with me. And this is a little bit of game day inspired. The Broncos won their last game of the season at the time of this broadcast. So very happy about that because they weren't doing so great before that. But okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a touchdown. The symbol that the referees do for touchdown is this, to signify that it's actually the extra kick and touchdown. Yeah, touchdown. So, but what we're going to do, what this helps do is when you bring your arms up, you're going to be lifting everything up with it. So we're trying to bring more peace to our body and uplift the spirit. So your spirit, your soul, mental, and physical, by moving the physical, you start helping the mental and emotional process as well. So we're going to take this in and up. Inhale it in. And then exhale it. You can just fan it out. So you can even say goal if you want, goal or score or whatever works for you. But if you can smile, if you can laugh during this, try that. So nice deep breath in, inhale it in, and then exhale it out. So again, one more time. So it's like a goal or a score, and then exhale it out. And you can yell goal. So in Europe, they yell goal. And the nice big for the soccer matches, which is football in all the rest of the world. And in the U.S., we have American football, which is, a different sport, so different than soccer. So anyway, okay, left. My husband just messaged in, FYI, dinner is ready. Uplifting food. Yes, thank you, darling. So I love it when hubby makes dinner. It's so wonderful, and I really appreciate that. Okay, and I will be right in there because we're on the third segment, which means we're almost done with the show and almost done with the year. So I had a goal to do 50 shows for this year, and this is episode number 100, and I'm very excited about that. So not only is this number 6 in the series of the Love and Loss from Grief to Peace series, but it's also number 100 for this year. So, it's 100 for the show episode total, and which means 50 episodes for the year. So that's my goal, is to do 50 episodes a year. Okay, so we're going to do what I call a hoop twisty, which is you can do this with the fingers, in the fingers. So let's see here. I want to make sure I'm on camera here. I need to pull back a little bit so that we're in here. So you can do this in a few different ways. I'm using a smaller, lighter hoop. It moves a little easier. If you have a big hoop, you're going to just need to have a little bit of a clearance, and you won't necessarily be able to do this within the fingers as much. But just for the sense of this camera, I'm going to take this, and I'm taking this, and I'm interlacing this in the fingers. So I'm taking and just interlacing, and I'm taking and flipping this towards me. So you can do this either direction. So, and if you don't want to do, so that the actual easy way to start with this is just to flip the hoop. So you can flip it either direction, and you're just flipping it up. You've got it gripped with your palms and flipping it back down and re-grip. So flip, flip, flip. So you can even take this and palm spin it and have a hoop twisty that way, or you can take it with the fingers. This takes a little bit more dexterity, and you can just do it with the first 2 fingers, or you can do it all, it's fun for a lot of dexterity. Now, if you want to take this an extra level up, is we can take this to the sides and rotate this out. So I'm going to stand with this, move this around, and you can even take this behind you and flip this around, keep flipping that around. So you can do a lot of different things with this by flipping it around, this little hoop twisty. Okay, so that's kind of fun. It's a nice, easy trick. I like easy things that look good. So this is a fun thing to do that is fun. So you can even, get it spinning on one palm and guide it with the other hand. So what I'm doing here, let me back up in the camera again. So I'm spinning with one hand, and I have an open palm on the other. So those are some variations of the hoop twisty. Okay, that is the show, episode and the final show for the year. And I thank you so much for watching. I got in and out on my time zone here, my time goal and my episode goal. I'm very happy about that. I wish you peace, and I hope that this series has helped you in whatever small or large way. If it has, share it. Please share it with somebody else that you think might benefit from it, that somebody else that's going through a hard time. Share. If you haven't already liked, please do like the Hip the Hoopla channel on YouTube, and hit the thumbs up if you're watching this on Facebook. You know, like, share, all that kind of good stuff. I'm Hip the Hoopla on all the social media. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you spending time, and I appreciate your comments and ideas, whatever you are doing to help get through what you're going through. Let me know. That is very helpful, because you know it's a village here, so we help each other out. So if you have things that are, you know, helpful, let me know, and you know, I'll share the things that I know that are helpful. So thank you so much. Rock on. Peace out. I will catch you guys on the next series of episodes. All right, take care. Bye.